A recent investigative report found that more than 52,000 guns that once belonged to law enforcement were used in crimes across the country. So KAMC Kamryn Mendoza spent time with officers at the Lubbock Police Department to see how they retire firearms that could no longer be used on the force.
Lauren, while we were out at the Lubbock Police Academy this afternoon, we got to see where the lifespan of a gun begins with the department and its officers and where it goes from there.
When you're finally issued your firearm, it's a big deal.
It's one of the biggest responsibilities an officer can have.
We want to make sure our guns work every time we pull the trigger, and so they reach an end of life where we feel like it's time to get a new one.
Lieutenant Cross tells us their department has a trusted process and vendor when trading in. Not only does it save some money on the next round of firearms, but ensures they're sold correctly.
We make sure our firearms are traded in or go to a licensed dealer, someone with a federal firearms license. And so we make sure it's a trusted, reputable person. And it's the folks that we trust to buy our guns from for over 400 officers. When you deal with a federal firearms licensed dealer, they do document the purchase and sale of the gun. When they make the sale, there are some additional checks and balances as opposed to just two guys on the street buying and selling a gun from each other. There is no paperwork. There is no documentation.
Lieutenant Cross says after they are traded from the department, the vendor is responsible for them and wherever they go. But the department does their part in ensuring the firearms go from their officers' hands to a vendor they can trust.
That vendor has to comply with all federal and state laws, just like anyone else who sells weapons. So when they get our weapons, they have to abide by all that. It's all mandated by the federal government and state government to an extent about whom they can sell to and how that process goes.
Lieutenant Cross says they recently just traded in all their firearms a few years ago, and the life cycle of a firearm depends on that specific gun.